Good afternoon, 18th of February 21, disruption, maritime. Why in the maritime we can disrupt faster than others? Because we can say that our cars have, let's say, 600 miles autonomy electric, but if I cannot move away from my town because coronavirus, unless I just drive in circles, what's the point? I can also sell via YouTube that my digital currency is so good, but it has no backing from any central government. Or I can also say that, for example, European Bank is going to go digital whilst they print money, and the inflation of our dear seafarers, it will compound until losing 15% of the value. Or those that say that, for example, Brexit is great, yes, well, but if your minimum wage is so high, then what competitive advantage you would have? And if we can add all these disruptors worldwide, what is the use of all these if there is no real meaning, real utility today? In the crew management sector, we have real utility. How? For example, we can disrupt all the enlistment contract. Currently, there is about agreements, labor agreements, I would say something like 40. Why not just make one? And this one would have this basic wage, overtime, leave, social bonus, total. Yes. Two, why don't we follow the example of Estonia, which has declared seafarers tax-free? Three, why don't we ask the flags to declare tax-free maritime transport? Because it is fundamental. Others say essential, but I would not compare the shore people with the sea people, you see? So then this is about 4 disruption areas we can have. The 5th disruption area is we can kindly ask banks to make the transfers instant for free. Why? Because we are fundamentals, and perhaps we can then buy more services from banks like insurance and investment, many other areas that banks would like to get their grade on, but they cannot because they are too expensive. So please, bank, why don't you lower that? Now, let's go for these airlines. Please, would you give priority to seafarers? 7. Then, would the airports worldwide treat seafarers as heroes? And the priorities that are used for the diplomats and would this and the pilots, would this priority pass please be also used for seafarers? You see, these heroes go sailing for 6 months, they send home to the allottees all the money they've earned, and they go home 2 months, or if there is a master LNG, they go for 70 days on off, but it's just everything they do is for others, and the cargo they carry is for you. So airports, did you really look around and find out which is not transported by a hero seafarer? Would you please kindly put them as priority? Now, vaccinations, pharmaceuticals, do we have to ask you to disrupt this queue priority so that seafarers is only 3 million? Please, why don't you give them the vaccine? Governments, 9. Please provide vaccines for seafarers. The intrinsic value I informed previously is 22 million in a 100 years period. Okay, you show me another one who brings so much money to your country. Can you disrupt this queue priority list of vaccines, please, government? Doctors, when you have medical examinations of seafarers, you please can give them the best price and the best cover so we can prevent the health issues. Yes, so important to prevent the health issues of seafarer. 11. PCRs, please. Pharmacies, pharmaceuticals, could we have these tests on board? I believe that in on board some ships, we have broken this breakthrough, this disruption, and I could continue, like for example, protection and indemnity clause. Now, I think the word says protect and indemnity. So before we go into indemnity, could we change your name to protect and prevent? It would be beautiful that this name, after so many centuries, protection and indemnity clubs, it would be called protection and prevention clubs. Oh, I would love that change. It would be great for the maritime industry in the next tides. It would be lovely. Now, if that definition was done, then could we prevent better? Is there any kind of watches for the cholesterol of our seafarers, for the sugar, for the food, for how many other ways can we prevent? Can we account the intrinsic value of the health generated to our dear seafarers? Because I'm sure that if owners pay the protection and prevention clubs, would owners be interested to have better health for seafarers? Of course, yes. So then, why is it this name still as it was many centuries ago? Why is no one working preventively for this? There is many areas of prevention that could be done from the earlier stages. There is many tests that are disrupting now to know the health situation of seafarers so we can work preventively. So many new tests going on. I'm sure that protection and prevention clubs can know more about that than me, and they have specialists in that area. Like there is now huge disruption into the gap of living. We can live longer, about 20%, but the question is, can we live younger longer? So can we do sports longer? And because that means that we can also look after ourselves. And that's another preventive area. And like this, I hope to expand in the future what we can disrupt in the maritime sector today, and we will fight together, all of us. ITF, can we disrupt the fees instead of $330 per position be 30? Well, would then we have more cover of more seafarers? Is that interesting? Is an area of disruption that we could be looking at. And there is a little one called judges. We know how inefficient justice is because they really stopped this coronavirus efficiently. After a year, we can really say that we have rights in this world for the health of the humans. And therefore, one of the areas is, please, could you step aside, judges, and disrupt the labor and tax and the implications of shore regulations? Every country has different rules, regulations, terms, conditions for employment, for tax, for discounts, and so. Like for example, in Filipinas, the government discounts 20% in these 50 different columns that my late father generated with the POEA and AMOSUB in 1977. Is it time to disrupt these enlistment contracts so the gross and net wage is equal? I believe it's time to change. We don't have to wait for Bitcoin, Ethereum type contracts to do this kind of great electric cars that do 600 kilometers charge. If it's good to walk 10 kilometers per day in 60 days, that's a very healthy step. And daily, we could also lose a little bit of weight, and I'm sure the cholesterol and everything would be much better, and we don't have to build a car. But there is many ways in these labor areas that we could disrupt. For example, the social bonus. Could we generate some kind of worldwide sanitary assistance right for seafarers? Could we talk to one of these huge, big insurance companies and tell them, okay, I'll give you $150. I want the retirement. I want the pension. I want the sanitary assistance. Okay, unemployment, we will think about it. And then what else? Yeah, that's about it. So any kind of family surgical or assistance, yes, we can negotiate that. Can we disrupt this, or do we have to wait for a really intelligent billionaire to tell us what to do, to tell you what to do in our seas? Well, the tide will go up and down, and we can disrupt up and down all the time. And we can really keep this intrinsic value compounded to our sector and disrupt our way, your way, yes, and continue reporting about these huge associations that also can disrupt the statutes, the general meetings, the elections, yearly changing directors, directors with most intrinsic compound value generation being put there, and once this intrinsic value generated, eliminated, then the new one with the next, and that we could add value to our maritime seas and also to eliminate this pollution. We can do many more things about which shipping is doing, and we will make more videos with more ideas. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Be safe.